Hi, my name is Tom from Genius Gecko, and today we're going to talk about basic tasks, and I'm going to tell you why they don't suck anymore. Almost. Let's get right into it. So, basic tasks, if for those of you that don't know, it's a concept of big picture that you can create issues that don't exist on the level of Jira. So big picture is always working together with Jira. So you're reusing Jira data basically, but if you want to work in a different way, or you want just to create something quickly for whatever purposes, you can go into the plus button over here and go create basic tasks. So this will always have this icon on the left side, and you can see I have 1, 2, 3 over here created for the purpose of this video. And we are going to be talking about those basic tasks because there have been some important changes around them. And previously, I was firm in my recommendation that you shouldn't be using basic tasks at all because they can only hold the name, start and end date, and that's it. There is nothing else you can put on a basic task. Therefore, they restrict you quite a lot. Now, it's actually a little bit better because if you go here to the basic task, you right click on it, you go to edit, still summary, start and end date, right? Yeah, so this screen, maybe it has to be updated, and I'm hoping that it will be in the future, but it doesn't mean that this is the only kind of information you can store on the level of basic task. Believe me, I was surprised by it as well. The reason is that BigPicture has been working a lot lately on enabling the user interface a lot more. So now it's more intuitive. You can do more with just point and click. There is a lot of inline editing, and this is exactly the key. So as you can see, this task, my basic task called final verification, is assigned to a person. Right? So I've managed to do that. You just double click over here, there's a drop down, there's a search bar, so you can search for a person, which is your Jira user, and assign the basic task to a person. This basic task also has an original estimate, the same deal. You just double click and inline edit the information from over here, right? If I would want to edit, for example, a label on the level of this basic task, or maybe I will take something easier, a text field. So I have a program increment that is a text field, definitely. So let's add this one. There you go. And again, if I double click over here, okay, see? So text fields are not editable. Just several chosen fields have been enabled for basic tasks, but these are the most interesting fields for us, basically the users. Another one that you might think will be useful is status, but if you try to use the status, you will get an operation failed message, so you can't use statuses, again, because basic tasks are not connected with any Jira workflow, so it kind of makes sense, right? But there are estimates, and you can assign it to people, and there is a time frame, the duration, start and end date, right? So the three most important elements are there. Now, what can you do with basic tasks? So of course, you can connect them with dependencies to other tasks or other basic tasks. That has been here before. That's not a change. But you have to remember that this kind of connection between the basic task and the Jira issue does not have the representation in Jira. That's a bad thing, right? So you usually want to have it. But there are a lot of good information around that as well. So if we leave Gantt and go, for example, to the board, can you place a basic task on a board? Yes, you can place a basic task on a board. I have my final verification right over here. It's also connected with the dependency with a standard task from a different team. Remember that, that's going to be important in a moment, okay? So we also have a dependency here on my basic task. So that's good. I also have an estimate in story points, right? So again, something that we can be happy about. Next thing, objectives. Can you use your basic tasks in objectives? Yes, you can. So I've defined just one single objective over here, and you can associate your work with objectives since several versions ago. So now I can associate a basic task with my objective too, right? So objectives work with basic tasks as well. Cool. Resources. Because you can assign a basic task to a person now, ask me later, please, then it also works with the resources. So the basic task I'm looking for is assigned to Yaro, and it's probably this one. Yeah, final verification, that's the one I'm looking for, right? So you can see it's assigned to a person. It contributes to the person's effort. I think we are looking at story points right now. Yeah, we are looking at story points. But if I move to original estimates, you will also see that it contributes to the original estimate. If I click here, you will see that final verification contributes 40 hours, right? So it is estimated for 5 days basically, although scheduled just for one. So that's definitely something, some bad planning on my part. Also, if you click on this basic task over here, you will be able to use the algorithms to assign teams and single people to the task, right? So this task is assigned to this team and it's assigned to Yara. If I click, for example, over here, I will get an additional suggestion and the task will get reassigned to me instead, and now it's over here, right? Another thing that you can do is you can inline edit the original estimate, remaining estimate, and story points over here. So because the basic task does not exist on the Jira level, you will not be able to track your time on it, right? So the logged work, this will never appear over here, and you can't edit it manually. But what you can edit is remaining estimate. It helps a little bit. I wouldn't say that it's great. It's definitely better to work with standard Jira issue, but it is something, right? You can kind of work around the limitations that were here previously. So that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. Moving on to risks. Can you use your basic tasks in risks? Well, if you try to create a new Jira issue, it pops up a standard Jira issue screen. So no basic tasks over here. If you try to add an existing task, even though my existing task exists and it's called final verification, it's not searchable over here. So unfortunately, I can't access this basic task and put it over here as a risk. So in the risks module for now, it's not accessible, but they work in the calendar module. So if I go over here, this is yesterday and my final verification is right over here. This is today, and for today I have test and test 2 basic tasks as well, right? So they do appear in the calendar. And as you can see, yeah, actually one thing that I think is missing over here. Oh no, it's here, right? Sorry, I was looking at the wrong bar. So the assignment to a person is also visible in the calendar. So that's good, right? That's good. That's what you would expect. And the last part, the reports part. So take a look at this. I've added the team dependencies report. And you remember the dependency I've mentioned previously when we are looking at the board? This dependency is also visible over here, I think. Yeah, task 1 connected with our basic task final verification, right? So it will also appear inside the big picture reports. So do they suck? Well, a lot less nowadays, right? A lot less. They are decent now, I would say. Should you use them? It depends. It depends. So for me, I kind of feel right now that basic tasks are pretty good if you're going to be working just inside Big Picture. You don't really care about having the data also in Jira. And then I think you can make it work with basic tasks. Unless you want to also track your time on the level of them. Then you have to work with Jira issues. But having said that, I still believe that a very important part of having Big Picture together with Jira is that it allows you to connect that project or portfolio management tool with your processes tool, which Jira is essentially, right? So this allows you to create a workflow where you don't have a separate project plan, but you actually have a project plan strictly connected to your workflow or processes tool, which as a result of that beautiful connection allows you to have all the information from the day-to-day work being funneled into your project plan and accessible immediately. That's a tremendous benefit, and I strongly believe that working with Jira issues is still a lot better than using basic tasks. But having said that, I have to admit that they have gotten a lot better compared to what they were before. So that's all in terms of basic tasks that I wanted to say today. As you can see, lots of interesting insights, lots of interesting small things that make the difference. And this is not the case just for basic tasks. It's the case for almost every functionality inside BigPicture. That's why we believe that having someone to help you figure out the best ways to use this tool is important. It saves time, it saves money, and saves you all the troubles that come with the tool adoption. So whenever we're working with our customers, we make sure that we help them set the tool properly and put a lot of emphasis on the tool adoption, which is the most important part in the end. That's our experience from all the implementation sessions that we did with our customers. Because what good is a tool if people don't want to use it? So you want the tool implemented well from the beginning so that people are happy using it. They don't have any problems. They know where to click to achieve a certain result. And you also have some templates that you can reuse. And you also have proper training so that everybody feels comfortable with what they have received and they know it's a step forward, not a step backward. So if you want to learn more about the tool or our services, that there are two things that you can do. You can either reach out to us through just an email and we will set up a session to talk about what you currently have and where you want to get to, and we will give you our best suggestions regarding how to achieve this. Or you can sign up for our free Big Picture course, which tackles the most used scenarios for waterfall and agile. So this is like a little bit of an introduction into Big Picture world, so that you can see what we have to offer in terms of our training services and also the implementation. So if you want to check us out first through the free training, all the links and an email address will be in the description of this video. Use it. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.